Previously on Tech Makeover.
I'm always a little nervous going into a client evaluation because you really want to make sure they're happy. I'm a natural rescuer and I want them to see me as the knight in shining armor.
I'm not the most tech-savvy guy in the world. I know how to use a computer. I know how to use our POS system that we have now. We know there's products out there, but we just don't know what the technology is. It would be really great if somebody could come in and explain to us what's out there so we know what to use to help our business get better.
When it comes to technology, I'm not the best at it, and I never have been. But when I know it can make me money, I'll take the time to figure it out and use all the tools I can get from it.
It's time for a Tech Makeover.
So I couldn't be more excited about what's happened at the PAR this week. I mean, not only did we successfully implement the technology, and that was a process that involved the bar owners, but they also fully deployed it against the pressure of a Friday night on Bourbon Street, and they did it right. The clients are a key component to the success of a project like this, and these clients rose to the task. All right, we're here on Saturday morning. We just had a successful launch. I mean, your bar was packed. All the technology was firing on all cylinders. We made it through the launch. How do you guys feel?
I'll tell you one thing, I was excited about it. You had me scared for a while. We were talking about neats and clouds, and I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. And I just went along with the system, and your guys were professional with it. They took the time with me, and I learned it, and I'm very excited about the Quickbooks point of sale tablets. They've sped up everything. The food going to the kitchen, to the bartenders. The drinks are there before they get there, and guess what? We're making more money, and when we're making more money, I'm happy.
And you're making more money, I guess, because the tables are turning faster?
Oh, they're turning a lot faster, and it's a lot more accurate, too.
And then your servers are happy, I guess, because they don't have to make their way through the crowd, and the faster the table turns, more tips.
More tips, absolutely.
Yeah. It's saving them 3 or 4 trips a table.
All right, Steve, you threw down the gauntlet. You and Brad did 1 week. That was hurdle number 1. And then you also put a pretty high standard on us. You wanted John Taffer level, right?
Yeah, well, like I said, we work with the best. Well, now, as far as technology goes, we work with the best. Patricia was awesome, and it's not easy to work with us, especially when it comes to technology. She broke everything down in a way we can understand, and it's going to save us a lot of time in the long run. It's amazing. We can spend more time on our business instead of in it.
And you guys were great students, too.
All right, you guys are happy, feeling really good about things. We are too, Patricia is too. But I think it would benefit us to take a hard look at each technology here on a quiet Saturday morning, make sure it's all firing right. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, let's get started.
My goal is to bring something to the client that is going to change their life. It's not just about numbers, and it's not just about accounting. It's about bringing something that's going to let them go home at night and be sure that things are operating well in their business.
Very first technology we put in was QuickBooks Online, and I know you guys were a little nervous about that change. How do you feel?
Well, I've been using QuickBooks Desktop for 20 years, and I was very comfortable with it. And when they brought QuickBooks Online, I was surprised how easy it was to wrap my mind around it and to use it and use it properly, and those reports are going to be so valuable to me.
Right, I can't believe how fast we were able to get all the data into the QuickBooks Online. And when talking to our accountant, he was so excited that we're using it. It's a new technology. He can't wait to get started.
Yes, I've been working very closely with Kevin, and he is very excited about the inventory information being up to date, the ease of use, and the payroll being available to him immediately.
So I want you to notice what Patricia is doing. After the implementation's over, she's just not leaving it to the client to figure out what the value is. She's asking them, and she's listening to their answers. She's getting them to tell her how the technology has made a difference. That reinforcement post-implementation is what leads you from just being an implementation vendor to being a trusted advisor.
And what kind of other things did you guys see that you could use Neat for?
What I liked it for is I have proof that I sent him something, because we would always have the conflict. He says, oh, I didn't get that. And I'm like, no, I did it. I started scanning it, I sent it, and I have a record of me sending it to him. He knows it's there. At any time he wants to do it, if he wants to work on the weekends, he can do it, and then my stuff gets done. Like yesterday, when I was at the store, I went and bought some stuff. I had it, the receipt was there. Otherwise, that receipt would have got lost in my pants. It's a legitimate expense that I would have lost.
So you use the Neat mobile app to take a picture of it?
Oh yeah, and guess what? The accountant called me and asked me questions about it.
Oh my God. How awesome is that?
I couldn't believe how easy it was to get started with Neat. You just plug it in, and that's it. You're dropping receipts through the file, and they're in the cloud. The time it saves, you can really work on your business instead of back there in the office dealing with paperwork all day. You can drum up more business and find out different ways to make your business better and touch base with your customers while they're here instead of doing paperwork in the office all the time.
And when you do have to go in the office, you actually fit.
Right. Yeah.
We were lucky enough to have Patricia here. And every time she saw us, she'd almost cringe, so we'd have more questions. And I mean, I'm a question asker because I want to know, especially while they're here. And then on top of that, to have Joe here, the professional's professional, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I believe that every shift has a value. And I tell the employees, I go, this shift is going to bring this amount of money with or without you. Now, I can go to them before and say, this is what it is. This is what you need to produce to make me happy. And there's no confusion. You can either produce that or I find someone else that can produce that number.
And those employees, those servers are able to check on their own status throughout the night to see how they're doing.
And the thing about when you challenge them and you communicate with them, they produce a lot more. I'm gonna tell you one thing, we're gonna be able to brand our product better on the streets just because of this.
And with some predictive technology at your fingertips now, you're gonna be able to make sure you have enough t-shirts to sell when you're running those promotions.
When I work, increases the communication tremendously. To get to work and when to be to work is important, but it's important that I can communicate what I need to each one of them before each shift and during each shift through these text messages. The information that you are providing for us is going to be so valuable to us. It's going to change our business. We're going to be able to run this small business like a big corporation. And with QuickBooks Point of Sale, our efficiency's up, our table turns are up, our average check is up, everything is up. We're serving to the street, and we're very grateful to have them.
Most businesses are only in their own four walls. Now with the handheld devices, the servers can even go out in the street. In New Orleans, you can do that. You can drink in the street, you can also sell drinks to people in the street, and it expands your business exponentially. Each table can get you a certain amount of money, a certain amount of dollars per year, but if that whole outside area is available, it's big dollars.
So guys, I have a question for you. Have Joe and I enabled you to be empowered businessmen?
Absolutely.
I'll be honest with you, we can run this small business like a major corporation does. And we can have the same tools that the biggest Fortune 500 companies have. We have them at our fingertips to use. And it's gonna be very good for us, making a lot of money and hopefully be able to expand this place. I'm gonna be able to grow my business so much here that I'm gonna be able to expand and use it and expand again. I'm gonna be able to teach other people how to use this technology and to grow their businesses.
All right, we are done with the tech makeover unless there's anything else.
Well, it's been a crazy week. There's only one thing left to do. We have to wrap this thing up Spirits on Bourbon style. If Joe and Patricia are ever in New Orleans, Spirits on Bourbon is their home. I hope they come back all the time and we can enjoy a resurrection together.
Working with small business owners is ultimately about building relationships. So when Brad and Steve told me, when you're in New Orleans, make sure you stop by, have a drink, and talk to us, it was the ultimate compliment for both me and for Patricia. To see the dream of a technology makeover come to life this week has been extremely rewarding. During this episode, we saw a ProAdvisor making a big difference in the life of her clients. And she did this because she had the skills not just to manage the technology, but to manage the client relationship. At Woodard Institute, our premier coaching program, we get you beyond the what you should do and the why you should do it, to the cutting edge how to be a future-ready practice, how to manage difficult client situations, and how to accelerate your practice into the future. So join Woodard Institute today to take your practice to the next level.